The first real drum kit I got was a Camco kit. It was a single bass drum with 4 rack toms. I think I got that either late '81 or early '82, and the first shows that we played around Southern California and the first shows we played in Northern California in the fall of '82 were on this drum kit. And then in '83, when Cliff joined the band, I added a second bass drum and recovered the Camco kit all in black. This was also the drum kit that got stolen, I believe, in early '84. One morning we got a call from one of our crew guys saying that the whole truck was just gone. Our new managers had a relationship with Rush. I found myself on the phone in the fall of 1984 with Neil Peart, who obviously at that time was the #1 guy on that pyramid, certainly was at the very top. And as an aspiring drummer, talking to Neil was just crazy cool. And I had understood, you know, the overlap between Camco and Tama, and Tama was basically my first choice. So one thing led to another, and I was talking to Neil, and then he sort of connected the dots and put me in contact with the good folks at Tama. Talking to him and having him help open the door to this relationship that's been in place for 40 years was an amazing way to kick it off. And Tama was what I was after, and Tama is where I ended up. To me, Tama were the coolest, and it felt fresh and edgy, and it was built more durable and was more sort of like a higher level of engineering. They have a presence and a feel. The bottom line is the versatility in all the different Tama lines allows you to go into these rabbit holes and sort of see what's here. I mean, it's just endless. I'm very proud to say that 40 plus years later, it's just been a great ride, and everybody always goes out of their way to help and to step up in any way that they can. And I think that's what makes a relationship so special.
What's the first thing that comes to mind when you look behind you and you see all of them in the same room at the same time?
Oh my God, look at that. I guess the first thing that comes to mind is, you know, for all the choices and different finishes, I think we did pretty well.
They look good together, don't they?
They look really good together. Well, look at this. We start way back, Ride the Lightning, Master Puppets. These are the actual drum kits, the actual drum kits. This is not make-believe. These are the actual drums. If anybody out there is questioning the durability of duct tape, let me just tell you, there's duct tape here from 38 years ago. Chrome was just not so much for the metal thing, but more that the idea that the lights would always reflect. And then I loved these rims to give a little bit, you know, of a different flavor and the detail. And it's kind of cool to see the different logos here. In the early days, you know, it was every young kid's dream to have the logo of their band on their bass drum, because that was what all your heroes did. After you do it for a few years, then you go, okay, I've done that. We had the logo on, and then by the time we went over to the Justice kit, this is 88, 89, just the gray and the black. I love that color combination. And I remember doing black hardware was not something that just rolled off the assembly line at the time. So that was definitely kind of came out of the special relationship. And just standing here now, I mean,
No, ya valió madre.
it's crazy. This is back when bigger definitely was better. This is starting to streamline a little bit. I still had a hi-hat on each side. I would play some of the faster songs like Battery or Fight Fire, and the thought was that if I was playing it open, I could get more kind of whack in the snare and get more weight in the snare rather than playing it like this. On to the Black Album. We kept the black hardware. Drums are white. Still doing the extra hi-hat over here. And I think the sizes here are actually one notch up. I think this is where it's peaking in terms of the bigger is better. I think this may actually be a floor tom that's hanging here. Look at this. Whoa, shit, it just came apart. God, this stuff only holds up 30 years. Look at this drink holder. That's, I think, custom made. But look at this black hardware. Look how cool. This is taken from the Justice album. The lugs and the drum hardware was black, but here all the cymbal stands also were black.
Well, you brought this out for a couple music videos in the last couple of years, is that right?
Yes, for the Lux Eterna and Darkness. We found ourselves shooting these videos before the yellow and black drums had come in. So yes, a morph of this was used for those videos with fewer toms and so on, but definitely. Onto the Load era, the Silver Sparkle kit. Yeah, Ian Pace from Deep Purple may have something to do with this. When I was growing up, and he was like my first big drum hero, my first idol, he had a Silver Sparkle kit. This is obviously a significant transformation from the craziness of the earlier kits with the 4 rack toms and even ending up mounting floor toms as the rack toms over there. A bit of an epiphany in on the '94 tour. So this is the first go around with 2 rack toms instead of 4. And also they've shrunk a little bit in the wash. Had a ride cymbal over here. I think by this time the hi-hat on the right side had gone bye-bye. The second tom, it also bears noting, is over the years was actually dubbed the coffee table because it was where we would put my drinks and my towel or my sticks or whatever. I believe the first time where I had the bell brass out, you know, in the Guinness Book of Records, the bell brass snare drum is designated as the loudest snare drum. But this is definitely the transition of the downsizing of the drums. The second in the series of sparkly drum kits, and here, boys and girls, it's green, as you can tell. This is the St. Anger cycle. Sparkles cool on stage under the lights, and green was the next, I guess maybe like we talked about, you know, silver tied to some things with, say, Ian Pace, Deep Purple or more classic rock drums. But green certainly holds the designation of being the first kind of random color thrown in there. There's less shit happening here. This is for a China, but the hi-hat has gone away. The ride cymbal has gone away. There's fewer stands. This is the next installment in the continuous shrinking of everything. This is the first so-called Lars Ulrich signature snare drum. Thank you very much. It's got the diamond plating and made of steel. And having my own snare drum, a Tama, was obviously also super fucking cool. This is the orange kit from the Death Magnetic cycle. Again, the idea is under the stage lights that reflects and looks cool and bounces shit off. I think these drum kits are fairly identical in their sizes. This is a newer version of the Lars signature snare drum. Obviously, when you're standing here next to these newer ones, they're less stitched together with gaffer tape, and there's less nicks, and what are they, 15, 16 years old? They still look remarkably and zestfully fresh. I mean, you can't fuck with orange drums, just so you know. Hardwired to self-destruct. This is it right here. Purple, Deep Purple. You know, is there a deeper connection once again to Deep Purple? Very well could be. This is the next in the color wheel of sparkly drum kits in cool, somewhat unusual colors. It's still the whole idea of the stage lights, the role of the stage lights. And you get a little bit of that here with this extra next level lighting that's been brought in, but you see how it sparkles. They were very impulsive decisions. What color do you want for your next drum kit? And I'd like look out the window, oh, orange. Which brings us right up to date to the M72 tour. And now we are back to being inspired by the album artwork. Yellow and black. This is the first non-sparkly drum kit since, I guess, the Black Album. And what's so special about these and so cool is that we're now back to the black hardware, specifically the rims and the lugs and the legs of the bass drums. And this is the only thing that Tama's doing today that has black hardware. 72 of these coming your way. I have 4. Actually, I have 5. Actually, maybe do I have 6? I have 6. I have 6, and there's 72 that's going to be for sale. So there's 78 of those. That's 9 years in Danish public school. It gets me to 78 drum kits. 72 of these bad boys are rolling your way in October. Maybe you're one of the 72. This has been a bit of a trip down memory lane, close to 40 years worth of drums. Thank you for taking this trip down my 40 years with Tama. To stand here now with all these drum kits and what all these drum kits represent in terms of memories and concerts and, as they say, blood, sweat, and tears is just crazy. And imagine if all these drums could